WTF, explanation, explanation, explanation. Everything's ripped apart. Everything I valued is no longer valued. Things are breaking apart, they're not working. Violence, lack of respect, a loss of human dignity. Certain elites in the world are gathering to run everything. There'll be no jobs. Instant access to information is more important than wisdom. Having a relationship short term with somebody is more important than the intimacy. What has happened to soul? What has happened to what's sacred, what's real and true? What has happened to what every spiritual tradition has taught? There's some organizing wisdom in the world. Scientific Americans came up with a great concept. There's a 50-50 mathematical chance that everything is real. The universe itself, everything, you, me, is part of advanced civilizations or advanced times computer program. We're all in the app. If that's the case, how do you get the code? How do you access the code? We are at the change between one way humanity has lived, a certain energetic, a certain set of rules, and another one, the biggest jump in human history around. We have to make it through these dangerous times. As Dickens said, it was the worst of times and the best of times. Which is it? Both. Is it massive destruction? If it is, why? Is it massive renewal to something else? Yes. You take things out of your closet, and you take them out of your closet, and at some point, the room is messed up. While you clean it up, you go, look at this. Someone walks in, everything's messy. Yeah, but I know where everything is going. I know what I no longer need. And I'm going to rebuild with only the stuff that's now and the stuff that will fit me when I lose some weight. That's what's happening. The future of humanity is at a very, very delicate moment. The first tier of humanity, from time human first walked the earth until now. I launched my book, The Seeker's Code, Accessing Your Unreasonable and Extraordinary, at the moment which I believe is a tipping point to what's on the other side. And what's happening now is necessary. It's in the plan to give us a hunger for what we value most and sacred. And it's not faster and more consumption. It's what life is most valuable. The connection between us. And how to get to instantaneous access of a new reality. That as you focus on someone in a constructive way, that person somehow is lit up. Even if you don't know them. I'm talking about moving from I win, you lose, or I win and you win is the highest bit, to I win and you win. And people we know win, to I win, you win. People we know win and people we may never know and we may never meet are already in the next level. Without any complicated practice, without changing anything, everything could change. It sounds crazy? Yeah, it does. It's unreasonable. It's extraordinary. And those crazy ones of you I call seekers, who know there's not more than the physical universe. You know there's some energy running everything. We know we're living in a world of bullshit. We're inside of a program that's telling us what we're supposed to like, who we're supposed to like, what we're supposed to believe, to fit in, to be liked, accepted. And that world can never deliver what the human spirit is meant to have. And you know it's calling you. If you're one of those people, and I think that's why you're still listening to this, you know you're made for these times. And you know that we don't see the world as it is. We see it as we are. And you have the answer by being part of the change the world needs. Without effort, without struggle, without reaching a high level of consciousness, just by using the energy of this next tier for manifestation, creation for all of us. The first tier, this is it, is a physical world, and that's the massive world. That's it. It's physical world first. And there may be some flakes who think there's something more. There's a limited amount of resources, so we have to compete for the resources. We must consume as much of our environment as we can to bind for ourselves, competing with others. We believe here that whoever owns the most wins and has the greatest power. Whoever controls access to energy and information is the one who runs everything. What's valued most is determining who has access to and who does not have access to. The only way power and energy is liberated is through force or violence. Well, therefore, we own the earth. So we can take the resources out of it. We can destroy it. It may take 350 million years to make oil. Not that it's bad or wrong, but we create violence to earth to take it out. And any time energy has been bound up for a long time without being distributed, when it is distributed, it's exploded. It's like the atom. Split the bound up energy in the atom, and you have a nuclear blast. Well, I'll tell you, the soul has more energy for change of one person than all the nuclear blasts. Aren't religions based upon that? A transfiguration of the physical body, an explosion of light that can transfer all of humanity? Yes, it's time to live that. In the first year, the only way you get to greatness is by having wounded. Because to liberate the fact that we are light, we're made of light, life goes through us. In order to do that, and we've bound it, we've imprisoned even the divine. Or our concept of it, or definitely our experience of it. To do that, you have to get rid of all the things that bind you from experiencing that and knowing that. So you may have to be raped or attacked or beaten, alienated, isolated, abused, shamed. Things have to happen to finally crack you open onto your knees to be humble enough to broadcast the light in both directions. And if you have greatness, you had to be ripped apart. Loss of massive capacity beyond what you think you can handle, and go through a series of stages. And a few people make it through, and those people have a power that I've made it through. The energy field around them speaks of it, and they light others up. The only way to get greatness is by a backstory of wounding. That first tier of energetic is done. It's dead. It's past its time. It's the one of the caterpillar, where it consumes and consumes leaves, stripping the branches bare for its own personal development consumption. Then at some point, it explodes, implodes, and a light hits it. The caterpillar becomes just a soup of cells, a mush. Not one cell exists, a primordial soup of creation. It's called imaginal cells. And then, during this time in the cocoon, maybe the mask around us, the mask we're all living of our identities, whatever it is, the illusion we're all hiding behind to avoid the fact that the light says, you're pretty effed up right now. And you know it. The world's it. And this first tier ends at the caterpillar. We're emerging as a butterfly that rather than consuming its environment, adds value and pollinates with beauty. So the first year people are frightened. They're terrified right now. They're frightened. They're terrified of one thing. It's the end of the world. They don't know it. So they want to bind us much. We've controlled who has access to education. We've controlled who has access to everything. Who has access to money? Who has access to information? Who has access to everything in every system? And there's only so long that's what's been held from humanity. The future humanity will tolerate. The future of Earth will tolerate. Instead of consuming the Earth and destroying it, we could pollinate it and add new things to grow, new ideas, new concepts, new ways. The first year is his death row. And you could blame this person or that person, this company or that. The reality is, it's like a hydra. You cut the head off, something else shows, because it's not people. It's a larger system building up of attention to explode into something else. The next tier, which is now here. It started with things such as Facebook first showing up, and it first started up with the internet, the World Wide Web, to share energy information, to distribute it to everyone's access. Only thing is the first tier, the first tier was not here yet. Companies developed great ideas, but it's still ruled by the first tier. It's here. We're ready for it. I'm ready for it. And you, I'm telling you, like it or not, are part of the answer. Either have social, political, economic, environmental collapse, or wake up and new answers are there in ways we can't imagine. And we're no longer separate bubbles in the world. L'chaim, to life. Now, what's this world like? Don't know. No one knows. We can't even conceive of it. But I do know the energetic. We don't have to elevate our consciousness. Elevating human consciousness never worked. It may have brought us to where we are, but it won't take us to the next level. Only an extraordinary experience of the codes of creation that help us manifest, create, give meaning, create the cells of our body, make flowers blossom. Only access to that in this real, not artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is growing so rapidly because the real intelligence is growing faster. And it's not artificial. It's a real dude. It's a real dudette. It's life. It's a whole nother picture. In this next tier, what is primary is the invisible forces that shape everything, the force of creation. In this next tier, instead of having money per se to exchange, it's a value you add carries a current. In this, relationships are not about ownership. They're about co-partner soulship. Masculine and feminine energies as energies of creation, not as gender, wake up as in the Garden of Eden. There were male to man and female. We're not just man and female. They're energies of creation. They're valued in everything, respected in everything. And from that, everything grows, not gender, the forces that create everything. We have a direct experience with these forces. In this next tier, you don't have to go through suffering and pain and war and violence to have the light. You know how to access that because we do not see the world as it is. We see it as we are. As we understand our energetic nature and we see this is primary and we experience we're no longer separate bubbles in the world. And there's no me and you. There's a we, me. The we defines the me, and the me redefines the we. There's a freedom, a dignity. All systems evolve in magical ways. And when, instead of praying to make something happen for someone, what if you expressed the prayer affects the one praying? Thy will be done is with a larger system put us where we need to be. And instead of having more resources, give us resourcefulness. And it's okay to bind for yourself, but it's to be a vehicle to sharing more for others. And the light is not an airy, fiery thing. It's a thing that sparks all life. And life is sacred. Life is respected. And life involves a quality of love and experience of the oneness. You are part of the answer. Instead of trying to change the world or push against this or this is right or wrong, how about you energetically developing the energetic mastery, which is easy to do by experiencing these forces, that you could be part of the change called forth by a future humanity. It's calling me. It's most likely calling you. What do we do next? Not fight anything. Instead, be the answer.